Perfect. Oh,
Is this starting? Almost there. There we go. We are live on Substack.
Love it.
Hello, Kade Kimber. Welcome to Profit is Protest.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. So I want to introduce you to my people, and I want to introduce my people to you.
Awesome.
Because you and I have such similar philosophies, but in very different arenas.
I was thinking about that just this morning, but yeah, very much.
It was so fun when we had our chat, on Zoom the other day, where it was like, oh, I can totally see how your philosophies apply to Profit is Protest and how Profit is Protest applies to your philosophies. So first, let's just give you the opportunity to share who you are, what you do in the world, and why what you do is important for the world.
Oh, okay. That's a hefty one. All right. So again, first of all, thank you so much for having me. When I realized how closely our philosophies and our approaches, again, to your point, being in very different fields aligned, it just made it cooler. I already loved and adored you, but this just made it even better. And I appreciate the opportunity to connect with your audience and your members as well. So quick background on me on the bio side is I spent 20 years in corporate marketing and left in 2024, I believe, end of 2024. But along the way, I noticed that business gifting was being done terribly, right? It was promo items and branded swag that were being disguised as gifts. And then companies were wondering, why didn't this get us anything, right? And so to me, it felt very transactional in nature. And I wanted to figure out how to make it more relational. I didn't have an answer at that point. My immediate thought was it had to do with the fact that branding was on the products. And that certainly is part of it. But my work in the 12 plus years since then has highlighted so many other aspects to it, ultimately culminating in what I developed is called gift intelligence. So gift intelligence comes about from 12 years of owning a curated gifting company. I started the business after internal stakeholders were not interested in hearing my thoughts as the young one on the totem pole, that they weren't interested in changing business gifting. And so I started my own company. And 3 months later, we were gifting for the US Women's Open. Wow. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm onto something here. And that has only continued in the 12 years since. And what I came to find out is how gifts are thought of, not just how they're executed, but how they're thought of matters. So gift intelligence comes in that it looks at gifting as, I hate to put it this way because it does sound kind of icky, but it is a strategic measure, right? It's a strategic tool. And when you're looking at it as a marketing tool, it feels like it removes that personal nature. But the reality is, just like Profit is Protest, it relies on you being able to grow your business in order to achieve good things in the world, right?
And I don't think strategy is bad.
I don't think strategy is bad. I think when people think of gifting as strategy, it can feel like you're being sneaky or tricky, right? Because you're strategically giving a gift. And the reality is altruism and authenticity absolutely have their place in business gifting. So gift intelligence actually is built on that exact thing. It focuses on how can you create authenticity at scale? How can you scale meaning? Scale is subjective. It might be that you have 5 clients a year that you want to gift. It might be that you have 50,000 clients a year. How is it that you can simplify it on your side from an execution standpoint without sacrificing that personal aspect? The common belief out there is hyper-personalization is required, right? That it has to be the person's favorite XYZ.
Yep.
And yet that can backfire spectacularly. And I've had a client come to us and explain about a situation where the CEO was so off-put by the details being wrong that he actually called his executive team in and said, do not ever work with this company, and this individual. He actually got blacklisted when he was trying to create this personal approach. And it was a really expensive mistake on his part. But it just highlights that there are a lot of landmines in
Mhm.
personalization. So gift intelligence takes a step back. It looks at who is it that you are trying to reach? What are you trying to achieve? That shapes everything.
Mhm.
When you're going to send the gift, the messaging, how you measure outcomes. It's not just about thank you notes. In fact, that's the worst measurement. It's not on your P&L, as you well know, right? There is no accounting category for appreciation and thanks.
Yep.
So what is it that you're trying to achieve? And most importantly, I actually just had a really lengthy conversation this morning um, with a client about determining how people impact your business most.
Mhm.
So you're not investing or spending money in areas where it's not going to achieve your outcomes. If you are, and I know this is very true in your scenario, you're a referral driven, relationship driven
Yeah.
company, right? And you are in a relationship profession. So if you have a client, and most individuals and companies look at their top clients and say, okay, top spend, top investing clients, whatever, those are our top clients. The client this morning called them their A clients because they're their largest investors. That's not the case, if necessarily the case, and often not the case, if you are looking for a specific objective. In the case of referrals, do your A clients, or what you have historically considered your A clients, are they your biggest referral sources? If
Mhm.
not, gifting to them with the objective of getting referrals is kind of a waste, right?
Mhm.
So instead, looking at, okay, these clients may not be my highest revenue generators on paper singularly, but they drive the greatest number of referrals that drive an even larger revenue base than one singular top client, right?
Yep.
And so, anyway, I know I'm rambling and all over the board here, but that is really what I'm about, and why it matters in the world is that it grows businesses, it drives relationships. That is the greatest part of what I do. I love what I do. It's fantastic. But what gets me so excited and doing the happy dance, I'm constantly doing happy dances. I look ridiculous doing it, but I love it because
Mhm.
I get so excited I just can't contain when I know that either how something is going to impact a client's business, right? I've
Mhm.
seen it so many times, I can pretty accurately predict things at this point. And secondly, I get so excited when I think about the people receiving the gifts from companies that care, right? Because
Yep.
they're not reaching out to me because they just want to spend money, right?
Right.
Or because they don't care. They're doing it because they genuinely want to connect more meaningfully with their most important people. And yeah, that gets exciting. So I'll shut up now, but that's the big and small of it.
I love it. And I would argue that all business is a relational business,
Mhm,
right? You're in a relational uh, profession, and I
mhm,
am, right? Bookkeeper,
mhm,
accountant, CFO, money coach. Absolutely, it's built on relationship. But I think a e-commerce store can build relationship with their
mhm,
clients. I
mhm,
believe a manufacturing plant can absolutely build a relationship. So when I look at a business, when I'm talking to a client about how their business is doing, and we do look at things at like their referral strategy and do they even have one? And frequently they
mhm.
don't.
Right.
And if they don't, one of the things I start talking to them about is gifting,
Love it.
right?
Love it.
um, all sales, all marketing, all business is relationship, in my opinion.
Mhm,
From how you onboard them to how you execute whatever it is they've purchased to how you offboard them.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just so
Well,
important. And
absolutely.
I'm in an industry where the average, right? So people stay with a bookkeeping company for 2 years on average,
Mm,
a bookkeeper for 4, and a CPA for 7.
mm.
My client average is 16 years,
That's amazing.
right? So double the average for a CPA. And it's because I care most about the relationship.
Mhm. Yes. Right? Well,
Yeah.
because it is crucial. And when I say relationship centric businesses, I
Mhm.
absolutely agree. I think every business, it comes down to the relationship. The challenge really comes into play when you're talking about professional services firms like yourself, where it
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily have a physical product. It
Right.
really relies more heavily on that relationship. So
True.
your realtors, your financial advisors, wealth managers, what have you. And so, yeah, it's absolutely crucial. One of the things that I do through, so I have Kimber and Oak is my, is my corporate gifting company. And then Kade Kimber Advisory is exactly that. It is my advisory company.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to gifting, I also coach companies and do consulting on the client experience and creating, just like you outlined, that ideal journey from even before onboarding, right? From prospecting onto offboarding and future connection and
Yep.
outreach. Because to your point, it has to be laid out, right? You can't, there has to be the strategy. You cannot just willy-nilly it. You can't willy-nilly to razzle dazzle, right? And so there
That
has
needs
to
to be a
be,
t-shirt.
I actually, I've never said that before, but I'm sitting here thinking that needs to be somewhere.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you cannot be willy-nilly to razzle dazzle. And that is true any industry, right? When we have clients that say, oh yeah, we're really good at onboarding, like we remember to send gifts about 75% of the time, I don't call that really good. That's, I mean, A for effort maybe, but not A for execution. And so, because to be fair, they're still doing more than the majority of companies if they're doing 75% onboarding, gifting, and outreach. The interesting thing about it is people hear gifting and think expensive.
Right.
Right. And you and I both know that is not the case. What it comes down to is a perceived value, which you can send something that does not monetarily cost a lot, but feels like it did cost a lot from a monetary standpoint. And then the perceived value in the relational and care perspective, when it comes across feeling even more meaningful than perhaps you even strove for. So to me, it's about not what you spend, it's about what you mean. And so companies that gift, let's say you have $100 a year budget total, right? Not even per client. You're literally like, I'm only comfortable spending $100 a year. I'm in a startup phase, whatever it might be. Make that $100 count. It doesn't mean that you need to hit every single relationship because you're not going to mean enough, right? It doesn't mean you need to spend the 100 on one person. It's you use it strategically to achieve your outcome.
Yep. One of the things on our one-to-one Zoom that we talked about that I found so interesting was my clients, and this is where we started to see really how our philosophies connect. My clients tend to say, I'm not in it for the money, right? And I'm like, oh, number one sign, you need me.
Right.
Because if you're not in it for the money, you're not going to make a whole lot of money.
Exactly.
But if we could just change it slightly to, I'm not in it just for the money, right? Like
just
the money is important.
Yep.
The strategy behind gifting, the referrals you want to create, the relationship you want to create so that it does impact your bottom line is important. It is a valid reason. It is not the only reason.
Right.
And I think it's when we show up with it as the only reason that the gifting, no matter how well the item might be placed and like packaged and presented and everything, that energy is I'm only in it to get something is felt by the receiver.
100% of the time.
Right. But if we show up authentically, a big heart, and is like, this is my way of showing some appreciation for you.
Absolutely. Well, and
they
I think
that instead.
No, and sorry to cut you off. I absolutely agree. I think one of the challenges also with gifting is not making it feel like a checklist item, right? You weren't just on the onboarding list. You weren't just on the year end, which, year end gifting, like, as you know, that is my arch nemesis. Because it truly is the absolute worst time that people can gift, and not for the reasons that people think. It's not just because it's the busy time. That is important, but that's not the only reason. So when you have people that feel like they're a checklist item, you're immediately going to lose any meaning, authentic meaning at that was meant to be imbued, right? Like you don't convey a relational feel, you convey, I was on a list. Nobody wants to feel like they're on a list. That's not a relationship. You know, on my flight to Paris last month for the mastermind retreat, I was seated next to a guy, and when he found out what I do, he says, can you get my financial advisor to stop sending me the same gift every year? I am so sick of getting, and I interrupted him. I said, okay, it's going to be a tin of cookies, chocolates, or nuts, right? And you and I talked about this and how amazing your approach was when you were making these gorgeous chocolates, right, for clients. It's not that they're bad gifts. It's that when not done well, or when not accompanied with meaning, and when done the exact same way every single year, it gets diluted, no matter how amazing it might be.
Yep.
That I was like, well, yeah, we'll have him call me. happy to discuss, because we've helped a lot of financial advisors to stop sending the exact same gift every year. His point was, I have been with this guy for 15 to 20 years at that point as an investor. He should know me more by now than to send me the same gift that he did 15 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever it is. Very valid criticism, right?
Yep.
And he wasn't saying, hey, I want this gift to be so personalized for me. He just wanted it to have meaning.
Yep.
It's amazing what a difference it can make.
So Jay put in the chat that a dice company once made a mistake on his order, and when they corrected it, they sent him a free gift that's his favorite, and he's bought it 20 more times. I actually think this is an important thing we probably don't talk enough in business, is how we respond when we make a mistake. There's a study, and I hadn't thought of this before our chat, or I would have actually looked up so I could cite the actual study, because I don't remember the exact details. But there is a study done of businesses, and what they found is that a company that never makes a mistake is actually less trusted than somebody who makes a mistake and makes it right.
That makes sense, right? Because you had an emotional moment that connected. It might have started with a negative emotion, like in Jay's case. That's disappointing, right? When you get something that was not what you expected, right? It doesn't have to be dice. It doesn't have to be that physical product. The experience, right? That the handoff from one team to another is a huge pitfall for most organizations, right? Something that had a negative, that's an emotion. You have the opportunity to flip it to a positive, and gifting is one way to do so. But in doing that, that is where you grow the relationship. It isn't in not making mistakes.
Right.
You know, delivering great is sort of the baseline, right? Especially if you're a high-performing company competing with high-performing companies. I like to say that we help companies become so they're not interchangeable, right? We want people to not be top of mind. We want them to focus on mattering. And you only matter in moments where there is that remembrance opportunity. Nobody's going to necessarily remember, oh, they've never made a mistake. They're going to remember when you made a mistake and how you reacted to it.
Yep.
That's the opportunity. One thing that's interesting, so we do a lot of event gifting, and inevitably someone shows up who did not RSVP. So every client gets my personal cell phone number, because I know they are not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in the Eastern time zone, right? So a lot of our clients operate outside of those hours, especially in the event space. They have my number, they can text me, call me, whatever, anytime, and get the responses, as quickly as I can. And a lot of it is, crap, this person's spouse showed up and they hadn't RSVP'd, or we got a late qualifier for this incentive trip.
Right.
We don't have a gift for them. There is so much opportunity there to grow a relationship, because you don't want them to feel left out, and you don't want to be like, well, hey, you didn't RSVP, so therefore no gift for you. You don't want
so sad.
Right? So sad. Sorry about that. Maybe better luck next time. Be sure to RSVP. All right. No, that is your opportunity to create such a positive moment in the relationship and to grow your trust. Like, I am so sorry that we did not have your gift for you. We have it on its way to your home. It will be there when you get there, right? Or whatever it is. We've done overnight miracles to resorts before with personalized everything, which, again, it doesn't have to be personalized, but sometimes it is.
Right.
Those are the moments. It's fixing those moments that are the times when people actually grow trust. So I love that study. You need to do a whole article or something along the lines about that, because I think you could really speak to it really well.
Thank you. Seems like it would also be a great article for you.
Oh, it could be. Maybe we need to do a joint article.
We could co-write one. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like to do, and now I systematize things to make things easier. So I do have like a schedule in which I do gifting or asking for referrals or that some of those reach outs. And so they are on a checklist, right? And doesn't make it any less authentic. But what I do avoid, I avoid the major holidays. I don't send out Christmas cards. I send out Star Wars Day cards, right? May the 4th.
Yes, May the 4th. I love it.
May the 4th be with you, right? Pi Day is a great one.
I was just going to say Pi Day is such a great one too.
Right? Because I'm such a geek. And so having fun with that. And I find that it's a really beautiful rhythm. And there is a little bit of that top of mind, but it's also like, listen, I'm still here. I still have your back. I'm still following up and holding the space for you to have the success that you desire. And I find that when I have those normal check-ins, and people do get really used to them, that's when they show up with like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell Shaneh about this referral that I wanted to introduce her to. Or they'll reach out and say, Shaneh, that was so cool. I read the book. I send a lot of books. And I passed it on to my friend. Right. And I love that experience because then it's the ripple effect. It's not only did they get something from it, but they found it so valuable they had to share it.
Yes. Well, you hit on a few really crucial things there. One of which is that you created referral moments, right? And when people talk about referral strategies, a lot of times it can get so overcomplicated in individuals' heads versus what it actually looks like. In your case, you reached out with a book, right? And then there's some follow-up. You created a referral moment. Your referral strategy involves sending out a book and following up. That simple, right? Because you have to get in front of people. The other thing too, and I want to clarify as well, is your system for it is amazing, right? You should be calendared, but not expected. And it shouldn't feel expected. And that's where the big difference is. It must be systematized. In order to be consistent, you have to have operationalization, right? That is consistent. So that's not the issue. It's in what message are you saying? How are people feeling? And what are you striving to achieve? Part of why year-end gifting doesn't work, and even year-end note cards don't work, is that isn't when people are making decisions, right? No major decisions are being made in December. Our clients gift a lot we're very much a business-to-business gifting, and they reach into individuals, but also to other companies. So if you were trying to get in with a company and you're using gifting as a prospecting tool, which a lot of our clients do, then why are you gifting in December? The strategy for 2027 is going to be done by probably September, maybe October of 2026. If you're gifting in December 2026, you are not actually anywhere on the radar.
Too late.
You have to work extra hard for 2027. And odds are you're going to gift again in December 2027 instead of by September. It's cyclical. So reaching people when decisions are being made, when the contracts are being renewed, when you know that it's a major anniversary, and that's usually when a client decides XYZ, tax season, right? And also thinking through your client's experience. So for example, with a financial advisor, they are inevitably going to have a first-time investor. In your case, it can easily be a first-time person hiring an accountant and trusting someone with their money, right? To help them figure it out. It's a very personal thing, right? Even in business. So those have scary moments. Market downturn. Crap, I didn't budget enough for this. This is a surprise, whatever. You've seen enough, financial advisors have seen enough to know, okay, this is just a little blip. We're going to get through it.
Mhm.
So that, again, is that emotional moment, a negative that you're turning positive. You reach out. You know what? Financial advisor. Yeah, been doing this for 25, 30 years. This is completely normal. We have your back. Rest assured, happy to answer any questions you have, but this is the long game, right? Keep going. And it's those moments when you really, really win people over. And those moments don't happen in December. The other component too that I want to hit on with December gifting is the messaging. December gifts feel like bookends to the year, right? Like, thank you for this year of business. Even if you just push into January, which people are surprised to learn is actually my company's busiest time of year is January, not December, because thankfully we have gotten enough clients to understand and to see for themselves the impact that can happen. Last year, it was helping a client get an 8-figure investment off of a multi-year prospect by shifting to January and shifting their messaging. Within 24 hours, this guy calls up, begs to become an investor with the advisor, is netting them over $100,000 a year in fees. The guy's really young, so 20, 30 years still to go of investing and growing off of one gift that was roughly $100, right? And so it's really about reaching those people at the right time. So January is crucial for that, but the messaging becomes different. It becomes, I know you have some amazing opportunities in the year ahead. We know you've got this. We are in your corner. We know you're going to crush it. Thank you for trusting us.
This was a place where our philosophies again met, because in my world, what we do tends to be past focused. It's for compliance. It's to get the taxes done. What happened in the past. And so a lot of people hold off in doing it until tax time and just ignore it the rest of the year.
Yep.
My firm is very future focused. So we'll spend 15 minutes of an hour call talking about the past because it does give us data.
Yep.
But then the rest of the call is, what do we want to experience in the future? What do we need to do in the future? So again, I don't send Christmas cards. I do send New Year's, or not exactly New Year's, but in January, a card that's like, I am so excited for what this new year can bring, and I can't wait to see what happens for you.
Yeah,
because that's my focus is not the past.
Right.
So
well, and it's also, you're also approaching it correctly in that you're showing your advocacy for them and your care for them. You're not saying, who do you know, right? Even when you're sending gifts, trying to get referrals, the messaging should never be like, okay, we'd appreciate you sharing our information with anyone you know who might be looking for the same thing, right? So common. That's not what you do if you want it to be effective. And so in your case, yes, even January gifting is, I'm excited for you, right? Okay, cool. Referrals are going to happen when relationships feel authentic and are natural. Those are natural moments. Unnatural moments are those outlying things when people come to you and want something from you, and you might be willing to give it, but it is noticeably different than a regular, everyday, just kind moment, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, and I think also you're reaching people with January. You're also reaching people at a much less hectic time of year, right? December, nobody wants to have to schedule something or is going to schedule something. We hear a lot of thanks so much for the gift. Let's get together in the new year. And then wah, wah, New Year comes, no meeting, no appointment, no coffee, no contact.
Yeah.
So instead, when you're gifting in January, for example, you're giving the opportunity to overcome that obstacle for yourself and make it so that the excuse isn't, oh, let's wait until the new year. It's, okay, how about next Monday? How about next Wednesday at noon for coffee? Whatever it might be. Because you're reaching people at a time when they have that flexibility with no excuse. So yeah, I think you're right on the exact right path with that.
And to me, it just makes sense. So I I've been doing this. I've been in business for 30 years.
Mhm.
It took a while. I did get suckered in very early on in my career to the calendars that you'd send out at year end with
Oh, yeah.
your name and phone number and address on it.
Headshot and all that.
Yep. Now I will admit that back when I started my business in the 90s, my best marketing was being first in the phone book.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
And marketing philosophy was your name number needed to be in front of them so that you were the first person they called if your name wasn't first in the phone book. And it was pretty effective. But after like 2 years of doing that, I was like, do you know how many calendars I throw away? Because of course I was getting all the calendars,
Yes.
and all of the crap pens.
Yes. Yes. Well, because your experience
Mhm.
isn't going to be any different than your recipients and your own
Exactly.
clients, right? And so a lot of times people get so caught up in their own brand, and I get it as a founder. I absolutely get it. I love my brands. I put everything into it, right?
Mhm.
No one cares about my brands as much as I
No.
do at all. So I am not an outlier. They aren't all of a sudden like in the calendar situation, right? They wouldn't all of a sudden be like, oh, yes, I'm going to keep this calendar because Kimber and Oak's the outlier. No. Same thing with gifts. They're going to keep this promo item that I am
Mhm.
sending as a gift because they care so much about my brand. Very few brands on this planet have followings that care about the brand itself, especially with internal employees. With
Mhm.
team member gifting, um, I hear all the time, oh my gosh, help my company to stop giving me more branded crap, right? They don't want it. And it is not a gift. That is not a great anniversary gift. Oh, thank you
Nope.
for 5 years. Here, now you're a walking billboard, right? Or pick from this branded catalog of stuff. Nobody wants that. Your people are no different than
Yep.
you. And that's, you have to put yourself in that mindset.
Yep.
And I know, especially with you and your brilliant approach, is really getting into mindset, right? And
Mhm.
getting into energy, being able to understand people. When you understand your clients and that they really aren't all that different from you treat them differently. You
Mhm.
have a different client experience for them. You make sure that you're more cognizant.
Yep.
There's so much difference. And when you are operating in a sea of sameness, right? When there are, let's see, with financial services, there are 24 financial advisors for every single McDonald's in the US.
Oof.
So if you imagine, here's a McDonald's and 24 buildings next to it are financial advisors for every single McDonald's you encounter.
That's
It's worse for
crazy.
uh, realtors. I want to say, I might be getting realtors and lawyers flip flopped, but either way, it's tragic. With realtors, I want to say it's 144 per McDonald's.
Oh
And
my
with
gosh.
lawyers, it's 100 for every McDonald's. So, and I know in the CPA space, you are in a very saturated industry, even though
Yep.
you're very different.
Yep.
Um, in my space, I have the NAICS code, the same one as a promo item company. People do not search that code and expect to have a company like mine.
Right.
So trying to fight against that and say, hey, I'm different, I promise,
Mhm.
you have to get creative. And one of the best ways you can is by focusing again on mattering versus
Mhm.
being top of mind. Yes, you want to be top of mind. Everybody
Yep.
does. But you achieve that by mattering first.
Yep. So one of my it's a technique. Like
Mhm.
it is a way for me to make sure my client and I stay connected. So like there's strategy behind it.
Mhm.
And it is one of the most joyful things that I get to experience in my business because of the mindset work that we've done is, and you've heard me say this, and my audience has heard me say this, money loves joy,
Mhm.
and joy shared is joy amplified. So I teach my clients to celebrate anytime anything good happens. And I don't care if it's they find a penny and pick it up. I want them to do the happy dance and
Mhm.
look like a fool. I
Yep.
don't care if it's a hummingbird came and visited them today because that's a little nudge from the universe, right?
Mhm.
If it brings you joy, it's a nudge. So celebrate that. And then the joy shared is joy amplified. I'm like, And you need to share that with somebody. And if you don't feel comfortable, because so often my entrepreneurs don't feel comfortable sharing it with a friend or a family member because it feels like bragging.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh no, brag, give it all
Mhm.
to me. So they share with me, right?
Mhm.
And then I get to celebrate them. So we get this feedback loop of they're staying in contact, that I'm a safe place for them to have that experience and to be celebrated in return. So there's strategy to it. It's a way for me to make sure that we're building a really good relationship, but it's more about the relationship than the strategy, right?
Well,
I
it was a
can
relationship
recognize
first.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I recognize the tactics behind it, but it's
Mhm.
also, even if they never celebrated with me and they celebrated with somebody, this is a tool I want them to have.
Yes. Well, because you're setting a goal, but you
Mhm.
can't achieve that goal, that positive relationship goal. You can't achieve goals without strategy.
Right.
So to your point earlier on, strategy isn't bad. People think it's bad in the gifting space because it can feel, um, again, like you're being tricky or conniving or scheming or whatever. No, you have a goal, and that can be a very altruistic goal,
Mhm.
but you have to have that strategy, right?
Yep.
And that is why corporate gifting as a whole fails. There is no strategy to it. The goals, and in great part, honestly, because either the goals are not relationship aligned or they're not defined, or both. But so often it's not defined. And so
Mhm.
when you stop and you say, hey, this is what I want to achieve with this, this is the portion of my business most likely to help me achieve that, you've shifted to strategy, right?
Yep.
And that is a good thing. And then in your case, you've created spaces where people can celebrate their joy with you, because yes, it feels like bragging. In fact, just this morning, I started typing out a text
Mhm.
to a friend, letting them know of something really exciting that happened in my business. I deleted it because I'm like, and it's a great friend. I didn't want to come across as bragging, right? And so for me, I'm like, okay, it feels like diminished joy because it is,
Mhm.
but also um, that's not uncommon, right?
Yeah.
It just felt like, oh yeah, it's another time where I just kind of need to keep it to myself. And it's not that they wouldn't be excited;
Right.
they would be. I don't want to come across as bragging.
Yep. So next time you have that happen, you know who
Yeah,
to reach out to so
yeah,
that I
yeah.
can celebrate with you.
Well, yeah, yeah. So expect to get a whole overload because
Oh,
the last
I
couple of
I
days,
love the opportunity to celebrate, right?
you
Absolutely
know,
love it. It is my favorite money tool.
yes, which makes a lot of sense. It does. Well, back in college, one of the very first courses that my college required, I don't remember the name of it, but it kind of was teaching you how to be a college student and how to be an adult. It was a really interesting approach. One of the things the professor talked about was celebrating even little things. If you do well on this test or better than you expected, go get yourself a milkshake, go walk at the park,
Yep.
something that is going, it doesn't have to be expensive. Do something to celebrate,
Mhm.
because it's through those moments that you're going to continue to grow and strive for them, right?
Yep.
And so that has been my philosophy. One of the things in corporate that I used to do, anytime I had a raise or a substantial promotion, I would take the difference of the first month's paychecks and splurge on something I would normally never buy myself.
Very
And
cool. Yep.
that was my big thing. I mean, pair of Louboutins. I don't
Mhm.
typically run out and buy Louboutins just on a regular basis. That was one of my last ones I did. A $600 face moisturizer, which by the way is amazing. But I would normally never go spend $600 on a face moisturizer. But I allowed myself in
Mhm.
those moments to celebrate with joy and
Mhm.
with that increase. Now, I couldn't do that every month. That, as you
Sure.
know, that'd be really irresponsible. But that was money I wasn't expecting I already have. So for 1 month, being able to take that to acknowledge what I had achieved,
Mhm.
when so often in life we don't, right? We don't pause. We are on to the
We don't.
next thing.
Yeah.
To me, gifting is perfect because it forces us to pause, or it gives reason for people to pause.
Mhm.
Some of the most effective gifting I've done is with prospecting in my own business and reaching out to people I want to work with, right? I don't do the spray and pray approach to
Right.
marketing and gifting in general.
No
But
throwing spaghetti at the wall for you, huh?
no,
Good.
these are very intentional outreaches. If I am emailing you, it is not
Mhm.
that I've copied and pasted everything. I spent an hour and 45 minutes writing an email the other day because I wanted it to be absolutely perfect, which is a whole other issue. But just to highlight, any outreach I do is so intentional.
Yep.
And it works so beautifully because people feel that intention.
Mhm.
One of the gifts that I sent a prospective client one time was celebrating an achievement that they had just announced on LinkedIn. And we just had this conversation, and I wanted to make sure that they paused and took in that big moment for them because it was a big moment.
Yep.
And I guarantee they were on to the next thing. Got in, said, hey, please take a moment, enjoy yourself. Here's something to celebrate, right? And from that, it developed this relationship even further to where a six-figure referral came in from it for gifting. Biggest referral I've ever had because I helped someone to pause with that moment and meant something. And
Yep.
yeah, you never know what can be achieved. I do know great things can be achieved, but you never know just how great, I should say. And things can be when you stop with routine and focus on intentionality.
Yep. Because I track data for myself, but also for my clients, I know as soon as a client reaches a goal that they've set for themselves, right? Because one of the first conversations I have with a client when they come on, and then we have it every year, sometimes multiple times a year, is what is it that you desire for your life? Because your business is here to support you, not the other way around. So it can be a business goal, but frequently it is something like, I want to be able to pay for my daughter's college without, getting any loans, or I want to finally be able to take an entire month off from my business and it runs without me, and things like that. So I track the data and I see when it's possible. And one of them was a recent one was a client who actually their best month ever entirely in their business, which allowed them to buy a new vehicle and like do some things that they needed to do for themselves. I found a company, and the card that I sent, and really special postage on that card, I got to tell you, was like 18 inches by 2 feet, 2.5 feet. Like it was the
Basically, it's like a
biggest.
poster board.
It was the
Yeah.
biggest card ever to celebrate their biggest month ever.
I think it's amazing. Amazing. And it highlights perfectly that now postage, I guarantee, was not small on that,
No.
right? But it still was not budget breaking, right?
No.
And it just perfectly highlights that you can create those meaningful moments without blowing the budget, without having a huge budget to begin with.
Yeah.
But I think it really comes down to, again, going back to intentionality, setting a budget, right? For that. In my own personal budget, I have what it's called random acts of kindness. I've got an abbreviation for it.
I love it.
It keeps this pool of money so that if an opportunity presents itself where I'm like, oh, I could create some positive impact here, I could help here, whatever it might be, I don't think, oh, I need to pull from savings or this or that or the other. It's there, right? There's always money there. If I didn't do that, there would be that pause. There would be that, oh, can I
afford that?
reasonably spend that kind of money to do what I want to do for them, right?
Yep.
It's not a question. So in gifting, in business, same thing. It might be a small pocket of money that you put aside that is, and I'm very much an envelope budgeter.
The profit first.
Yes, the profit first.
Approves, yes.
Yeah. And that's how I learned to budget as a child, and then literally with envelopes in that case. And then it worked so well. And then profit first comes along, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it matches my mind, right? And when so many tools out there don't, and I had to find tools that do, and so on and so forth, because I was not excelling, but literally Excel, Microsoft Excel.
Yeah, got it.
Excelling the crap out of it to try to make something work for me. I digress. The point is, if you put money into that bucket, that pool, whatever it is, on a monthly basis, those year-end gifts that you're now not sending at year-end,
Mhm.
you don't have to think twice about it. And you also can set yourself up to say, okay, I will not let the pool exceed X dollar amount, because it means I'm not using my money, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, I ran a nonprofit and have a nonprofit now too, but one of the biggest things was making sure that we spent the money we allocated. It
Mhm.
wasn't just about collecting it. It was about making sure we spend it because we are providing what our mission was.
Yeah.
In your personal space or your business space, you're fulfilling your mission when you're spending the money to
Mhm.
do whatever it is you're doing with it, right? Growing your business to be able to achieve X, Y, Z. So having that cap of, okay, I won't let the pool exceed whatever, because it means I'm not fulfilling my mission and vision to achieve X, Y, Z with this. And that in and of itself becomes a driver. So even if you're terrible about systematizing and consistency, at least you have that. But it really is about coming up with ways that work for you, but being consistent about it,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
And authentic.
And
We're always gonna be back to
authenticity matters.
that authenticity. And
Yes.
you said when I how did you say it? When you write the card, when you do the thing, and you're doing it with heart, they feel that,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Which I 100% agree. I like to say your energy precedes you,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So have you ever experienced that? Oh, not another email from that person, right?
Oh, yes.
You got to
Yes,
wonder
it is.
what's the energy behind what they were feeling when they were putting that together, creating it,
Mhm.
sending it out. But it's also ooh, I got an email from Kade, right? You
Yes.
get excited because you know that it's going to be something good and juicy, even if it's the most boring, bland
Mhm.
email that was just like
Yep.
a necessary touch point. Not a necessary, that sounded
I
bad.
get what you mean. Yep.
Yeah. I got to tell you, because I was thinking about this as you were talking about budget and envelopes. The one place that I burn my budget to the ground every year is on gifting.
I
I
can't
am
support that
so
more.
bad about staying inside of my budget. So I don't go to a company. I mean, I could if I could find. Hey, I have Kimber and Oak. If I could find a company who could put together a cool box for me that gives me the feeling. But what I end up doing is I'll be out and about and I'll see this thing that I am like, not only do I need that, but my clients need that.
Mhm.
And then I'll buy 20 of them.
Yeah.
Even though right in that moment, I don't have 20 gifts I got to send, but I'm going to buy what they have.
You know
My
what?
favorite gift right now is this handcrafted.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's no writing on it, nothing like that.
Yep.
Black and gold spoon.
Okay, I'm in full support here.
And they're handmade in Japan, right?
Beautiful.
So when you buy them, that's the lot. The next lot will not be exactly the same.
Mhm.
I talk about how we have to pour into ourselves,
Mhm.
right? And this is a lesson that I have to teach every one of my clients, and I have to remind myself of, because as entrepreneurs, we are really good at giving of our energy and our time and our money to others and not retaining for ourselves.
Mhm.
So I teach that we pour into ourselves so that our cup overflows, our saucer overflows, and we pour from the saucer. We serve from the
Yes.
saucer. So
Love
our
it.
cup never gets empty. People love that metaphor. And I will actually be talking about this whole metaphor on stage when we're in Chicago
Excellent.
together.
Mhm.
And when I found these cups, because they are gorgeous, the
Oh, yeah.
scallop edges, everything, I bought the entire batch.
I can't blame you. I do the same thing, right?
It's like,
And sometimes
well,
I don't
there
even have a
went my
client.
entire budget for the year.
Yeah. But here's the interesting thing too, and this hasn't ever occurred to me before you were sharing about the conveying your joy through it, right, and your love through it, is almost every single gift box that I personally design. Especially if it's an ongoing gift, right? We have ones that are ready to ship gifts, so clients, we can just add their logo onto it, birthdays, celebrations, whatever it might
Yeah.
be. And then there's the custom side of the business, right? Where it's truly just about whatever they're trying to achieve.
Hmm.
But the ones that are ready to ship gifts, every single one of them is based in a product I personally love, right?
Yeah.
Because I want others to have it. Our most popular gift box, our most popular ready to ship gift box is our S'mores Anywhere box. The S'mores Anywhere box, S'mores boxes have been done, right? There's a lot of boxes out there, but this is a very different take on it. And one of the starting point of it was I bought these marshmallow roaster sticks that have a little dial on the handle that you can rotate the whole stick. They're telescoping, but it's got the little the dial, so you're just like turning up here.
Okay.
Small detail. I thought it was brilliant, and loved them. So I bought more of them. Then I started buying them as gifts for friends, and then I'm like, I should put together a box around this, but not make it like any other box. And so it includes things like campfire story conversation starter deck, right? To really drive conversation and create those meaningful emotional moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to do it anywhere became important because it might be going to someone in an apartment or in a shared housing situation. Well, it's bonfire in a can. Just go outside so you don't burn down the house, right? Go out anywhere there's open space.
Yeah.
So, but one of the biggest, and it became and remains the largest, the biggest seller, most popular seller today. But listening to you, it occurred to me a lot of that is because the meaning conveyed, that energy proceeds. And I guarantee that my clients have no clue who I am, but that energy is going to carry, as you well know, that is going to carry. And so my energy and my excitement and my love of what it does and just how cool it is and how fun it can be for people, that conveys. And I think that's part of why that one's so successful. I've never thought about it, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you had just picked any random knickknack and went, yeah, that'll fit in the box.
That's my problem is I pick things that don't
It'd probably be your lowest selling item.
Well, and I know when I've done it right because I track the competition, first of all. I don't obsess over them, but I do keep my eyes on it, right? And when I'm being duplicated, right? And I know it's outright duplication because I know what it took to come up with the idea in the first place, right? That tells me I'm on the right path. But also knowing what it achieves through data. And so to your point, having that data, right? In your case, you use it as context for, okay, this is going to be a big moment, right? Or this is their background. Now let's look at the future. In my case, it is kind of back looking, but also really kind of forward looking in many ways, but back looking in the sense of, okay, did it achieve that we wanted to grow referrals 25% quarter over quarter for the remainder of the year by sending X number of gifts to these people who have historically given within the last 18 months, X number of referrals, whatever it is, right? Getting very granular. Those numbers matter. At the same time, also, it doesn't have to be that granular. It needs to be measurable, but people get overwhelmed too.
Right.
And I also find that people measure a lot of things they don't need to. There are is that data actually serving you?
Right.
Does it do any good? If not, then don't waste your time on it. Right.
Agreed.
And so looking at it as, okay, if I know my objective, I know what to measure. There might be side benefits to it. So for referrals, for example, let's say you want to grow your referrals. Cool, track that, but it doesn't mean you also need to track side benefits you're going to see, unless it serves your purpose, of more online reviews, more social media mentions, what have you. Okay, those are going to come as you're reaching out for referrals. People get online too, right?
Yep.
Social media mentions, what is that going to achieve for you, right? What does that matter? You have no control over that. You have no influence. So measuring what it is you can control and what you're striving for becomes important, not measuring every single thing. So I think that's another important thing to touch upon while we're talking gifting too, is not just doing it, but measuring it in a way that makes sense, that actually matters, and then using those measurements to tweak. A lot of times what we run into, and especially in corporate gifting, is that people assume a gift didn't work because they didn't get a lot of thank you notes, right? They'll measure it like, oh, it was because the gift was crappy. That's not why it didn't work, right? And So it's because you didn't think about what you wanted to achieve and who you're reaching. You thought about, what are we going to send? And that is where people start on gifting, is what should we send? That's the number one question.
Right.
It should be the last question, because you already know more or less what you're going to send by the time you reach that question. When you think through who you're reaching out to and why you're doing it, what you want to convey,
Yep.
that brings your focus in so tightly that it makes it very easy to figure out what to send. Even people that consider themselves terrible gifters, no, you're not a terrible gifter. It's that you are asking the wrong question, right? You're not thinking through what it is that's being sent out from a recipient perspective of objectives and meaning, and measuring your impact to effort ratio, right?
Yep.
Because not everyone in your business impacts your business the same way. So why should they get the same effort or the same investment of resources, whatever it is? Taking that data and doing something with it is also crucial. It's looking at it as, okay, it might not be the product. It might be, and in fact, odds are it's not. It's your messaging, or it's your timing, or you've gifted to the wrong group. If across the board you don't see a conversion off of, because not every gift is going to achieve something, right? It's going to just be a portion. But I can tell you, having led phenomenal groups in some of the world's largest companies for marketing, working with some of the marketing tools that most people never have access to, gifting, I can say, is hands down the highest converting marketing tool and asset out there.
Yep.
But it's not 100% conversion. It's high, but it's not 100%.
Nothing is 100%.
No. So I think it's, setting expectations, reasonable expectations, is really important too.
Sure.
And not take what I'm saying as gifting is the end all be all. It's not, but it's really, really good. Right?
Yep.
And when it isn't consistently, and you think you have done everything right, if it's not doing anything, you've not done something right. And so start tweaking one thing, right? Don't be doing all these different changes. Do one thing differently. Evaluate, first of all, who am I reaching? Is this the right audience? That's number one thing. Second of all, is my timing correct? And the third of all, then you look at, is my messaging right? Those are the three top things to look at. Not, is this the right gift?
Yeah. I love it. And just talking to you about gifting makes me realize, because some of it's just been done intuitively, how multi-layered my reasons are for gifting. Because of course I want referrals.
Yeah.
I love to gift, like the love languages. That's mine. Right. So it feels good to me regardless. But I truly believe the number one skill every entrepreneur needs to work on, develop, strengthen is the ability to receive.
Yes. Very much so.
Right? Because receiving impacts our ability to accept money, to accept support, to accept praise, accolades, the spotlight, all the things. So part of my strategy with my clients, and I'm not talking referral prospects, I'm talking clients, is I like to give so that they get the opportunity to receive.
I love that.
Yeah.
Right, because you're constantly in a focus of giving, not receiving. It feels like it's all on you.
Right. Yeah. So I do private one-to-one retreats. And the first couple I did several years ago was like a beautiful gift bag that they would get, and they'd be able to pull things out and they'd have all their different gifts. And then I went to a retreat with my money coach in Kyoto, and it was a group retreat, not a one-to-one. And there was no gift bag for any of us. But what they did is that, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 opportunities between the 2 days, they went around and gave each of us something individually, right? So we were receiving constantly throughout the couple days. And I went, that is brilliant. So the retreats I've done since, that's been my new gifting strategy with that one-to-one client.
Which is all because you've created an entire experience while also conveying a totally different mindset, right? And people don't even realize what you're doing. right?
Yep.
Like they don't realize that you're helping them to understand to be a better receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does feel weird as an entrepreneur, and it is very difficult. Nobody gifts to me, nobody, which I think probably because, or I should say, very few people in my life actually gift to me.
What do you
I
gift
think
the gifter?
number one question, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I love getting gifts. I love surprises more than I love getting gifts. It's not about the stuff; it's about the surprise and the thoughtfulness, right?
Sure.
When clients gift, when friends gift and whatever, like I get really excited and I can receive that. In business, I have clients that send me gifts. I had one show up on my doorstep one time at my house. Of all things, I'm like, how did you find that? Not address, but with a huge Valentine's thing, just to let me know that they loved me and my team. I get a Christmas gift from one client we've not been able to convert away from Christmas. But the funny thing is, I don't get inundated with Christmas gifts because literally
You've taught them not to.
And so it's those sorts of things, but it is very difficult for me mentally to receive those.
Mm-hmm.
And because I feel like I need to be taking care of them and giving to them and helping their business, not necessarily receiving. So that gives me something to think about. But I think to your point, turning it into a more natural experience, like in the case of yours, where it was an item given, periodically, rather than this one moment, you've conveyed an entire mindset, right? And you have shown what that looks like. You have been the example of it. So when you can demonstrate what that looks like and it feels a certain way, people are going to carry it forward with them, just like you did, and now with your own retreats, right? Yeah. And I think it's genius.
Love it. All right, so we want to wrap this up. Where should people? I know.
Do we really want to wrap
Do we really?
I know,
this hour has flown by.
I know. I've been looking forward to it for a week or however long we've had this scheduled. But yes.
Same. Where can people reach you? Where should they follow you? Like, how do you like to engage with the public? Tell us all those things. And then tell us about, what they might experience if they joined us in Chicago.
100%. Okay. All right. So Kimber and Oak is my website. So kimberandoak.com. That's where you can learn more about gifting. KadeKimber.com is where you can learn more about gift intelligence and about client experience and that sort of thing. So you can learn more and engage on either website. There's contact forms and emails and all that. And then I'm on Facebook personally, but I don't use it professionally. So LinkedIn, so linkedin.com/in/KadeKimber. That's the best way to get connected. And I love connecting and not just connecting like, oh, hey, let's connect, but truly connecting and getting to know people. So if you do send me a LinkedIn request, I'll accept, as long as you're not doing some immediate pitch, but I'll accept. But I would love to actually get to speak to you too, right? Yeah. And then in terms of Chicago, I am so excited about Chicago because just like we approach in our own businesses, it really is about that very intentional thinking through how do you elevate your offerings, your client experience? How do you elevate yourself as an individual? How do you fill that teacup and overflow it into the saucer and then so forth, right?
Yep.
How do you do that? And so to come to Chicago, where there are, there's 11, I believe, speakers? I
think so. 11 speakers, 4 workshops and a panel.
4 workshops, right? Yeah. And I'm sure Jeff's keynote on top of that, because I don't think that counts as one of the 11. So, and then you've got the cocktail that you're sponsoring, right? The cocktail party. So
I love to feed people.
And I love being fed, trust. But it's one of those things where I cannot think of a more well-rounded approach within such a condensed timeline in 2 days to have 11 speakers who are experts in our respective fields, and then to have 4 workshops on top of it that literally teach you how to do it in a way that is standout, right? You are not operating in that sea of sameness. You have learned how to stand out, how to get your personal joy and satisfaction, and how to take care of yourself. Right? Because all of that does become very, very important. You cannot, to your point, you cannot serve others if you have not filled your own cup. So yeah, for me, Chicago, it's going to be great because I'm excited to see everybody and to meet a lot of new faces. But to me, it becomes the quintessential event for entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals that just need to go to the next level with people that understand them.
Yep. Liz was having technical difficulties, so I think she got offline, and she'll watch the replay. She will be there.
Oh, yay!
And she's a brilliant woman. Help authors get their books published, but also leads a organization that shares Black cowboy history in Texas.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she's
that's amazing.
It's so good, the work that she does in keeping that history alive. She's amazing. You're going to adore her. So you'll get to meet her. I don't know if any of our other people are online or coming, but I want to invite. What was that?
I said, if not, they need to.
Yes, if not, you need to. So would love for you guys to consider joining us at inspireandelevate.live. That's the website, and it is July, correct me if I'm wrong, 20th and 21st and 22nd. No, 20th and 21st.
Having built the website, I feel like I should know this.
Right. Yeah. 20th and 21st. It's 19th, a Monday. Yeah.
19th through 21st. So the 19th is the cocktail party that evening.
Cocktail party.
And then the 20th and 21st are full days of content. And also, I would say for individuals to reach out to you or to me for the Friends and Family Code, because you can get $250 off the ticket price with the Friends and Family Code. So
that's for friends and family.
No,
you guys are friends and family. Yes, so I feel
like,
free to reach out.
I feel like your people are friends and family. But
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be amazing to have your friends and family there as well.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom on gifting and how it is more about the why, not the what.
Yep.
The authenticity that is absolutely vital. The heart in which you show up to gifting and building relationships. It means a lot to me that we have connected both personally and here on Substack. So thank you so very much.
Thank you again for having me. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye.
Bye.